This is the very first project that involves sectors as diverse as air traffic management and healthcare. So these two sectors have been carefully selected due to the significant social impact and involvement during the crisis.
The emergency services, they work very well, but when things break down is when they need to coordinate with other organizations outside who they are normally coordinating with. And DARWIN's the resilience program sort of gives them a framework to how to create that capability, so that when there are large-scale events, things don't break down as catastrophically as it has sometimes done.
The need to work jointly towards a common goal, and that people from different areas need to contact and interact with each other, and they have to speak the same language.
Again, from Norway, we had the example of a military accident, and they called the civil ambulance to get assistance, but the military maps were based on one GPS system and the civil on another, so they couldn't find them. So somehow you need to get people on the ground into these meetings or networking scenarios and really bring up your tools on the table to compare them, to notice those differences.
It seems that Italy is quite good at mobilizing the population, the volunteers, when a crisis occurs. This could be an example of so-called community resilience, while Sweden, another country which is represented in the project, is very strong on the preparedness and prevention part. These are just two examples of things that can be combined, of synergies that can be established, and exchange of different cultural background that could be beneficial for resilience. Yeah.
We would like to improve the recovery action. What is happening after? How can we use the knowledge, so guidelines that can be spread out to other stakeholders that cooperate with us in managing a crisis.
I've been part of the work evaluating the concept cards. That's kind of checklist that you could use to enhance or assess your organization's preparedness for crises and disasters. And I think what DARWIN has done that's not been done before is that you've taken this, tried to summarize what research there is and try to define what resilience is, and then actually translating that to something concrete that organizations can use.
You have some incident that has occurred, it may even be a relatively minor incident, and you're looking at it from different perspectives and doing this analysis using the concept cards as a guideline on the questions that you're asking or analyzing it for.
We also talked a bit about the importance to make a popular version and to have concept cards together with pictures and make it easy to understand, to implement.
Point of also general agreement, which is reflected in the cards, is the criticality for this aspects of synchronization and coordination in everything that you can do before crisis. So the preparedness, basically, and the opportunities that you might have during routine operations to have various activities that support coordination and synchronization.
Today, one of the persons from the DCoP workshop, they mentioned that the concept cards and the developments of DARWIN will help and enhance the cooperation and coordination, and that could be used both vertically in a country or horizontal between countries, how different at regional level could be coordinated.
In Italy, we are working vertically. It means from ministry to region to local level and bottom up. But we are not doing this kind of work horizontally. Italy, Sweden, local, region, ministry, yes, but not region, local. And probably the cards could be particularly helpful.
Things that we feel will be improved by using the guidelines and the card would be improving the collaboration and the coordination, be improving identifying the actual stakeholders, and maintaining alertness and preparedness that situations actually can happen.
Well, we have been working with resilience since 2013 together with official response units, and what we see is that the public is the one who call in 90% of all the cases.
The public are often the starting point. They often see what is happening first, and they are not involved in our network.
To share info and data and the importance of being prepared to ensure that the confidence in the public exists, that the public feel that there is a plan that they can rely on if something actually happens.
The importance of communication to the public, but also the importance of integrating the press as a way to communicate and involve the public and have basically facilitate the trust from the public to the operations that are going on.
One example Daniel had from his side, from the Red Cross, was when there was the big refugee, a large amount of refugees arriving to Sweden. There was a big will from the Swedish public to do good, and the whole horizon of social media puts challenges on organisations like the Red Cross, because they have large groups of people doing good and wanting to do good, but they don't actually have a structured leadership or a person that the Red Cross can contact.
It's of course impossible to take everyone on board and have a discussion, but just to provide some information or use the local communities just to inform about the resources that are available could mean that when someone sees something, they are able to more quickly identify who they are to call and to be aware of what kind of resources are available.
What we can contribute with is the way to integrate the public's own devices with the emergency response, but without compromising security.